Now, another really quick example that I want to show you guys in Dynamic Paint is this awesome rain effect. So if we check this out here, I'm going to go ahead and back this up. I actually have a particle system on the top here. I'm going to go ahead and switch my colors for you so you can see. And then I have a flat plane that's subdivided that's going to act as our canvas. So if I press play, you'll notice that we have this amazing raindrop effect, and it's really cool. Let me go ahead and reduce the amount of particles right here so I can show you how we would set this up. All right, let's go ahead and play this back again. Now, if you notice, we can get these ripples in our plane down here, and this looks really cool. I'm going to go ahead and shade this smooth as well. I just want to show you what that looks like. This kind of effect is super simple to create, and I'm going to show you guys how you would set something like this up because I think it can add a lot of value, especially to scenes where you want to have something like this raindrop effect, or maybe a pavement with water drops hitting the pavement. It's actually really simple to set up, so let's go ahead and check this out. We're going to be using some of the similar settings as before and some of the default settings. I'm going to go ahead and delete these things here. I'm going to add in a plane. I'm just going to scale it up a bit, right click, or sorry, edit, subdivide. Let's go ahead and subdivide this quite a few times, as many times as you like. I think that looks pretty good. I think that was like 5 or 6 times. I'm going to tab out of edit mode, add in another plane. I'm going to go ahead and bring this plane up, scale it up. This is going to be our particle emitter. Now, before we do this, I'm going to go ahead and click on our bottom plane. Let's go back to our physics tab and let's add in a dynamic paint canvas. Make sure you're set to canvas, click on add canvas, and then we're going to change our surface type to waves, and our brush collection, we're going to change that to our particle emitter. But first, we have to actually create the particle emitter. So I'm going to click on this plane up here. I'm going to go to my particles tab, click on new. Okay, let's go back to frame 1, make sure this is working. And it is indeed working. However, it's not affecting anything yet because we need to do a couple of things first. Go ahead to your physics tab, go ahead and add in a dynamic paint to our particle system. For the type, we're going to choose brush, and then we're just going to click on add brush. Now, if we go back and we press play, nothing happens. And that is because there's a couple more settings we need to change. First of all, for our source, we need to change that to particle system. And then we need to click on our canvas, and we need to change our brush collection to collection. All right, let's go ahead and press play, and we're still not getting anything. Now, why is that? That's because we need to choose our particle system on our particle settings for dynamic paint. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that particle system. Now, if we go ahead and play this back, we have the effect. So you need to make sure all those different settings are enabled. It's a little tricky and it might take some fiddling, but as long as you select your particle system for this effect, it should work. And the best part is, if we go all the way back, go ahead and click on our plane, go back to our particle settings. Maybe you don't want as much rain. Maybe you only want 100 particles to fall. I'll go ahead and switch that to 100. I'll press play from frame 1, and now we have this very subtle effect. Now remember, this plane isn't subdivided like crazy, but if I tab into edit mode and I give it even more subdivisions, I'll give it a lot just for this example, and I go back, let's go ahead and play this back and let's see what we get now. Now remember, not every computer can handle this, so be very careful. What I've done is I've added more subdivisions so that we can get a better effect, a more realistic effect with these raindrops. Let's go ahead and play this back. Now look what we get. Look at the level of detail that we're getting now. And if you wanted to, you could subdivide it even another time. This isn't shaded smooth yet, so I'm going to right click on it, shade auto smooth. I'm going to go back one more time, press play, and now this is the effect we have. And it looks really good. Once you add some materials to this, you can make it look even better. You can add in your own environment texture, and you can create a surface that looks like glass or water, whatever you prefer. Typically, you can make it look like water if you use a glass shader, and you just tweak a few settings, such as the index of refraction and the color. This looks great. I'm very happy with this effect. I wanted to show you how to create this because there's a lot of cool things you can do with just this. This is just one example of how dynamic paint can work in your favor.